Oh, I gotta show you something.
No more distractions. No more electric tanks.
Oh my God, I can't never do nothing.
No more climate change.
I was trying to turn it up.
No more distractions. No more electric tanks. No more gender confusion. No more climate change worship. We are laser focused
Climate
on our
change
mission
worship.
of warfighting.
This is the new military video through Trump.
Not only by the battles we win, but also by the wars we end, and perhaps most importantly, the wars we never get into. It's called peace through strength.
They're revamping the military.
Young Americans who are giving up the best years of their life in a uniform to serve their nation.
This is badass.
Through our power and might, we will lead the world to peace. Our friends will respect us, our enemies will fear us, and the whole world will admire the unrivaled greatness of the United States military.
It's about time. You know, they banned transgender members. They can't be in the military anymore. For those that don't know, even our military was infiltrated by the gays.
The pride of our armed forces and the
How sick.
crisis.
These men signed up to do a job.
Fight because we love what's behind us.
And women. It looks like they're going to be able to do that now.
God bless our men and women serving overseas, and God bless the United States of America.
First of all, that is the baddest ass video. First of all, Trump, his damn, I wish I had his team when it comes to media productions, editing. The man's got it. First of all, this is the Pentagon. They released this video, and it's the new anti-woke ad. No more gender confusion. As I said, it's really sad that the LGBTQ plus was able to infiltrate our military, and it harmed lives. It's sick. This shit has got to end. I'm so grateful. So, the DOD released 2 new clips in the past 24 hours displaying military strength, including paratroopers conducting airborne training in preparation for an airborne operation into Lithuania during Exercise Swift Response in 2025. And this is a new ad touting the end of wokeness under President Trump and Pete Hegseth, who I'm assuming is that one important guy that we saw at the beginning. Y'all, is that not the coolest stuff? So cool! I said, hell yeah, I gotta watch this. Can you see me? Probably not. I'll put you over there. So cool. Ouch. I'm at the beach. That's where I slept. Nobody's out there, so that was great. Ugh. There's stuff on the floor. I can't get my feet down. You see the beach? Oh, God. I slept like a log. Good morning. I'm so happy that they're going to be bringing some normalcy back to the military as well. And it looks like it's already started to improve numbers, because I read another report that said that military numbers have already started to shoot back up. So that tells me that there was men and women that wanted to join the military, but they weren't doing it for a specific reason. Probably scared to damn join when damn Kamala Harris and Joe Biden are trying to kill everybody, you know, and send us all into World War III. Ain't it crazy? Ain't it crazy? get gas. And to say that they had recruitment problems is putting it lightly, because they actually have had massive recruitment problems. Nobody's joining the military. We've had a huge problem in recent years. Part of the reason that I like to get up early is because there's no people out. I don't have to deal with anybody. I have the world to myself. And I actually got up at 6:30, I think, 6. Trump is literally the best president we've ever had. I'm going to call it. He's going down in history as the best president we've ever had. Even over the founding fathers. I'm calling it. As bad as Biden was, Trump is going to be 10 times better. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to match the energy in the opposite direction. Do you get what I'm saying? So it looks like the military started dropping off in 2019-ish. So that would have been what? Before the 2020 election was stolen, allegedly. Interesting. And it looks like that it continued on a downward trajectory through the Biden administration. From 2020 to 21, the numbers started to decrease for recruitments, military recruitments. And then it continued into 2022, into 2023. And it kept cutting its recruitment goal by 10, 20% every year. It's crazy. Nobody wanted to nobody wanted to join under the Biden administration. I don't blame them. I don't blame them. Here, 4 days ago from Trump. Trump touts record-breaking military recruitment. Ahead of the Memorial Day, President Trump has repeatedly taken credit for an upswing in military recruitment. Yes, now they want to go join because they don't have the risk of being drafted to war because you people are insane. The Biden administration was absolutely insane. They tried to kill us all. Nobody wants to damn work for them. After years of military recruiting shortfalls, enlistments in the U.S. Armed Forces are now the highest in 30 years because there is such an incredible spirit in the United States. Absolutely. There's unity now. We didn't have unity before. And matter of fact, if you weren't in a specific fucking color and you had problems go down, you were the one that was going to be prosecuted for shit you probably didn't even do because of the color of your skin. That is the system that we had built here in our military. If you weren't part of the cult. I mean, to see, let me show you, if you don't know. Look at this soldier that they brainwashed into becoming a woman. Look at this sick shit. Look at this sick shit. Look at that man, what used to be a man with strength, and then look at whatever that is. It's not allowed now. They banned it. Good for Trump. And that's not even the worst of it, honey. Look at this. What is this? What in the mental health problems is going on? How do you take a soldier from that and turn it into that, and it's still a soldier, okay? It's still a soldier. Still's got a penis. And even if you cut it off, it's still a soldier. Y'all don't even understand. Oh God, and then that one, Rachel Levine. God, Jesus Christ. What the fuck is that? What is that? What is that? And he's cosplaying as a female right there. Listen, there's a reason that these people get mental health assessments before joining the military. They should have never even been cleared. And that's not the worst of it. It gets worse than that. It really does. I really don't want to go down memory lane. These photos are seared in my fucking mind. It's disgusting. And it is absolutely banned now. You cannot be part of that group and be military. If you have psychological mental health problems going on, which we know is body dysmorphia, there's a name for this mental health condition. Transgenderism, okay? It stems from body dysmorphia, which is a mental health condition, which is in the DSM, okay? We know why this is happening. And that's why it was banned. But military numbers are supposed to go up. And they already are, so that's good. Oh, what's happening in the world today? People need to understand that we are living through the end of times. And in order to obey God's word, we have to take a firm stance against Satan's work. If you fail to do that, then you will burn in hell. He's pretty clear. Crystal. Crystal. And that's towards all acts of evil. Because if you don't take a stand against it, then you're complicit in it. Oh, damn. There was a man that was ejected out of the car over the weekend. A driver with no seatbelt ejected and killed in a crash on Heckscher Drive here in Jacksonville. I be telling y'all to wear them goddamn seatbelts. I saw a whole family get ejected out of a car once. Listen to this shit. This was in another country where they drove on the opposite side of the road. This is the West, so we drive on the wrong side of the road. And it was like this little tiny SUV. It looked like a Subaru Forester, an older one. This video was from the 90s, and they actually used it as a instructional teaching video. And it was a family of 4 in the car. and this crazy bitch crossed the center line. She come around a curve and crossed the center line right into a Mack truck. She was ejected out of the car and killed on impact. 2 small children who were not wearing seatbelts were ejected from the back seat of the car, through the windshield, and they fucking hit cement. The father, who was wearing a seatbelt, takes off his seatbelt, hops out of the car, and starts scooping these children's bodies up off the ground, y'all. Please wear a fucking seatbelt. Ugh. There was also a guy hit and killed in the parking lot of the Arlington Pharmacy. There was 4 shootings in 12 days, and a man was killed by deputies after being bit by a gator. What? Can we rewind? A man killed by deputies after being bit by gators. Hold on, we gotta go find that. Because what? What? I'm sorry. It's too little information. Hold on. Do I say was he bit first and then shot? Or was he shot and then bit? What a way to go out. I imagine that my death will be something similar. It's going to be a lot. You know, if my life has been like this, oh God, my death is going to be fabulous. It's like go out in a flame of glory. Let's see. Man shot and bit by gators. It came right up. It came right. I can't never find nothing on Google, and this came right up. Good morning, y'all. This came right up. Of course it did. A Florida man was fatally shot by Polk County deputies after being bitten by an alligator and later acting erratically. Did he get the rabies? And this included charging at deputies with garden shears. Maybe he was in shock, you know? I mean, he was just bitten by a damn gator. Maybe his sugar was low. I struggle with that. It's hot down here. I mean, the heat can cause hallucination. Listen, this is a lot. This is some Florida shit for real. Okay, so the man's name was Timothy Schultz. It was initially reported by a convenience store clerk that he was acting erratically before being involved in the alligator incident. Following the alligator bite, Schultz swam across the lake and then began acting aggressively, including throwing a brick at a vehicle and charging at deputies. Despite attempts to de-escalate the situation, including using a taser, man, did he get that Spider-Man bite? Did he get that alligator? What is going on right now? He was shot by deputies after trying to grab a firearm from a patrol car. That's a lot. So the alligator bite come first. Then he turned into Alligator Man. Then he tried to fight the cops with kitchen shears, with garden shears. Sorry, I'm just getting the picture clear in my mind. Don't worry, it'll be wiped clean in the morning. But that's crazy. And so they had to shoot and kill him. He had a history of drug-related I'm sorry. Drug-related arrests, and he was recently released from jail. What in the contagion? A man to have believed to have been on drugs was shot and killed Monday by Florida sheriff deputies who had tried to shock him with a taser as he wielded a set of garden shears shortly after he was apparently bitten by an alligator in the lake. Jesus. Oh, so it was the drugs that led him to being bit. Okay, now it's starting to make sense. Y'all, this fool was probably on meth, and allegedly he was swimming in a lake that was infested with gators and then got bit. And then the cops showed up, and then the damn garden shears. Because people at 7 o'clock in the morning, it was 7:43 a.m. The neighbors are waking up to have their morning coffee, and they see this asshole out there swimming across this lake that's infested with gators. He was also growling at people. It sounds like he was like on drugs bad, y'all. And then the gator bit him, and then the cops showed up, and they shot and killed him. Don't do that shit. Stay away from that shit. Florida man survives alligator attack before being fatally shot by Florida deputies. You was this close, homie. You was this close. Damn. That's a Florida story for you. Happy Tuesday. What in the flip is going on? Can y'all believe that? I can. I see some crazy shit out here. Is my doors locked? Yes. Oh God, it's so bad. People just don't even know. So that guy that was ejected out of the car and killed, driver with no seatbelt ejected out of car and killed on Heckshire Drive. The driver lost control and ended up in the path of another vehicle facing the wrong way. So it was a head-on collision, fam. That's what we call that. The media, somebody please send me to journalism school. It was a head-on crash, and he was a 34-year-old man, and he was driving without a seatbelt. And so when he hit something in the front of the vehicle, because of physics, it ejected him out the front windshield. That is typically what we see in these crashes where people are not wearing seatbelts. And Lord forbid you have a rollover collision, honey. Bodies just start popping out of every window. They get sucked out the fucking windows. There is no chance of survival, okay? When you are getting sucked out of a fucking moving car that is tumbling. I really feel like they need to show these videos, and I might start doing that on here. I feel like they need to show these videos in driver's ed. Why they do not? Let me tell you why. Because people are too fucking soft. It'll harm the kids. They're not going to get fucking PTSD, Susan, from watching a video, okay? They'll be fine. That PTSD is not even created in that way. God. We need to be showing these videos to high schoolers. If they're responsible enough to get behind the wheel of a car, then they're responsible enough to take on the weight of potential accidents on the road and handling that information. And matter of fact, I'd be willing to bet that there's studies out there that have proven that showing this information is more beneficial than not when creating healthy, functional drivers on the road. It looks like this guy veered onto the right shoulder of the road, then overcorrected, causing him to travel into the westbound lane towards an SUV. The two vehicles reportedly collided in an offset head-on collision. The victim was not wearing his seatbelt, and he was ejected from the car. He died of his injuries. The driver of the SUV, a 57-year-old man from Jacksonville, was seriously injured as well. Damn. "34 years old, in the prime of his life, lost control of the vehicle, went into the oncoming lane and hit another driver, and he didn't have a seatbelt on, and he was tossed out the front. Probably, if it's head on in physics, he was tossed out the front." For instance, over the weekend, May 25th, where is that, Minnesota? Washtenaw County? Listen, a teen driver was hospitalized in critical condition after he was thrown from his vehicle in an early morning crash, Michigan State Police said. The crash was reported around 3 a.m. on Sunday, May 25th, in the Arbor Township, Ann Arbor. Police said first of all, why is this 17-year-old boy and his 16-year-old girlfriend out at 3 o'clock in the damn morning? Where are your parents? Anyways, police say that a 17-year-old boy was driving a Nissan Rogue southbound on US 23 when he lost control of the vehicle, crossed the median, and rolled the vehicle several times. Troopers arrived to find the driver, who was not wearing a seatbelt, ejected from the vehicle, and one passenger, a 16-year-old girl, trapped inside. Police are saying that alcohol and drugs may be a factor in the incident. Once again, where are the parents? 16 and 17. They almost just died. He was ejected out of a car after a rollover collision. Happens every day. Happens every day, and it can be prevented if you just wear a seatbelt. A man was, where was this? May 25th. This was a same day. This was a Jeep Wrangler. Those are some of the worst, most unsafe vehicles on the fucking road. My mother had 4 friends die in a Jeep rollover accident. They all drowned in mud in high school. Pierce County, Idaho. A man was severely injured after a rollover crash on Sunday morning in Pierce County. Police said they responded to several calls about a car running off the road on Highway 95 near mile marker 316 around 10:45 a.m. The Jeep Wrangler had drove off the road, collided with a hillside before flipping over. The sheriff's office says that the driver was not wearing a seatbelt and was thrown from the car. The cause of the crash is being investigated. The sheriff's office also reminds people to always wear a seatbelt and to drive carefully as state enters the 100 deadliest days when it sees a spike in deadly crashes. Summertime. What is that? 100 deadliest days. The 100 deadliest days refers to the period between Memorial Day and Labor Day, a time where there's a significant increase in traffic-related deaths, injuries, and accidents. This period is often associated with a rise in teen driving fatalities, and it is a time where authorities and organizations focus on raising awareness and promoting safe driving practices. Boom, boom. So when is the 100 deadliest days? Summertime. Summer vacations, Summertime. Ugh. Who all do I need to block this morning? Let's see. No, the Gator didn't take him out. It was the Gator didn't take him out. Sheriff Grady took him out. That he survived the alligator bite, homie. It was the sheriff's department that shot and killed him. He survived an alligator attack. He swam through alligator infested waters with the neighbors calling 911. Like, what is this guy doing? Where 911, what's your emergency? Yes, ma'am. Me and my husband was out on our back porch having our morning coffee. And we think there's a meth head swimming in the lake with all the oh shit, he's getting bit. Oh shit, he's getting bit. Can you imagine that phone call? Can you imagine? And then the cops show up, and at this point, he's got the shears trying to fight the cops, and they had to shoot and kill him. I think it's great. I mean, it's one hell of a story. I mean, I think it's sad he died, but like, clearly, he was doing drugs. They think. Allegedly. Listen, this is Florida. These people, a lot of these people are not well. They're indisposed at the moment. So it looks like this is a driving. The 100 deadliest days are the summertime. Got new drivers on the road. Everybody's traveling for summer. Am I the only one that has to drink up and drink like 2-3 bottles of water before I can get going? I can't just hop out to bed and go, homie. I ain't never been like that. I wake up feeling like shit every morning. I always wonder if I got cancer. Probably from fucking smoking. Where did it go? Where did you go? I need to know. Oh, where did you go? Does anybody see my jewel? Oh my god. Alright. Oh. Memorial Day marks the start of the 100 deadliest days of summer, which conclude on Labor Day in September. Wow! The number for accidents increases 20%. Oh, shit. It's worse. A 20% increase in teen driving fatalities. So I guess summertime would be the time to be more cautious when allowing your teen driver to have free reins over the summer, because there is a 20% increase in teen driving fatalities during this 100-day period of time. It's literally the worst time for them to be out on the road with their little friends. With more inexperienced and easily distracted drivers on the road, it's up to adults to remind teens of safety tips. Teens should be reminded to keep the number of passengers to a minimum. Obey all road laws. Be aware of household rules like curfew. First of all, my parents wouldn't have let me drive a friend around if they would have won the lottery. Like, I wasn't allowed to ride with friends. Friends weren't allowed to ride with me. And at this point, I had already graduated high school, was in college, working a full-time job. I was just stuck under their roof. So it was really crazy because they were super ultra strict. I mean, I guess I'm glad now because I'm conservative. That came from somewhere. So they would have never let me ride around with a bunch of friends in my car. But my parents were smarter than the average human too. And they didn't even graduate high school. How do you get that much common sense and no book smarts? I don't know if they got the good end of the stick or the shit end. I think a little of both. I never understood why they were as strict as they were. Oh, it was to keep me alive. Okay. It was to protect me. Okay. Oh, God. What's that? That's funny. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Y'all, I need to go get some more nicotine patches. Ain't happening. Yeah, those rollover crashes are crazy. I wonder if I can find that video from that woman running into that Mack truck. That was horrific. It appeared that he was the only survivor out of 4. And this poor father getting out of the car, you can tell he's in shock. He's like, he picks up the little girl, I do believe first, who was probably about 2 to 3 years old. And then he picks up a little boy who was probably maybe a year older. And they're just little lifeless, limpless bodies in their father's arm. It's just horrific. And the mother, she's face down in a freaking ditch because she's the one that crossed the center lane and drove right into a Mack truck. Crazy. I'm sorry, but like, men are the superior drivers. They just get it. Unless they're like 80 and they got 1 foot in the grave and 1 foot on the accelerator. But that ain't even their fault then. Their motor skills. They just ain't got them motor skills, okay? They probably don't need to be behind the wheel of a car, but for real, men are superior drivers. Like, when it comes to differences in women and men just get it differently than women do on the road. Experienced male drivers. Huge difference in all males and experienced male drivers. But I spend a lot of time on the roads, and 90% of the time when I see these accidents, it's women. And when it is men, they're elderly or young or teens. I don't know. Every time I've been in an accident, it was some lady hitting me. I had a lady total her car on my tailgate. Had another lady hit my front quarter panel. I had another lady run over on me on the highway. I don't know. I just think that men are better drivers. Man, can you believe that Bridget McCrone? I'm laughing because everybody's shocked. Like, come on, man. This woman who was, she's married. What's his name? I don't even know. Who's the prime minister of France or the president? On butchering words with Brooke today. Francois Bayron? Listen, Bayron? He's the prime minister of France. He's married to this evil old witch named Bridget McCrone, who everybody thinks is a man, and allegedly she is. They have like proof of this. Candace Owens did a whole like 2-hour investigation into this. So this woman, Bridget McCrone, was the prime minister's teacher, homie. She was his teacher back in like grade school. She is 72, 73 years old. He is 46, 42 years old, something like that. Huge, like 30-year age gap, right? Over, right? 40, 46. Listen, we're not here to do math. We're here to talk about the tea. This woman was caught on an airplane mushing him. It looks like, so I saw some people from Australia saying that she slapped him. That didn't look like a slap. It looked like a mush. It looked like she was mushing him. You know, that's what we used to call back in the day a mush, is where you just mush somebody in the face, okay? It looked like she mushed him in the face. Regardless, the fact that everybody is surprised and, oh my God, everybody's grabbing their pearls is hilarious to me, because this is a groomer. This is a pedophile. This is a woman. What was the other woman that was the teacher here in the States that got pregnant by this little boy? Mary Kay woman that had sex with her student and had children and went to prison. Mary Kay anyway, yeah, this woman, y'all remember this from the early 2000s? Y'all remember that teacher and that boy? Listen, we'll talk about that in a second. First of all, this woman groomed this child, okay? That was his teacher. She interjected himself into this man's life, and now they are married. And it's not hard to tell that she runs the show, okay? Creepy, not surprised that she and him, hell, they probably beat on each other. He knew that door was open, so he's not going to react because he can see the public. It was like there's a short on my channel if you want to go see it. It was almost like he was about to greet the public, like they were stepping off of an airplane. So he knows the door is open because he can physically see that the door is open. He can physically see the crowds of people out there when they were about to walk out of the doorway. And Bridget apparently did not know that the door was open, and she mushes this man in the face. Definitely a lot of probably domestic violence going on in that relationship, but I want us to start recognizing that when we see one form of abuse, there's probably multiple forms of abuse going on. Being able to identify that this person is in an unsafe situation, and in my opinion, they deserve each other at this point, because there came a point where he was old enough to discern between evil and not evil, and he chose not to do that, and he stayed on that path under her rule and thumb. I mean, it's wild. The whole thing is wild. But the fact that she physically assaulted him, it just goes to show that they absolutely have probably one of the most turbulent relationships. I mean, she groomed him. This relationship started as a sexual perversion in a grown woman messing with a child. So let's just recognize that remember the clean hand doctrine? She went into this with dirty hands, with the objective of being with the child, okay, allegedly. What makes you think that she won't resort to putting her hands physically on somebody, or psychologically torturing somebody, or belittling somebody to tear down their esteem? I just want people to know that when you witness one line of abuse like that, just know that there's probably 5 or 6 other lines of abuse going on in that whole situationship. That's what comes with being self-motivated and walking in Satan's way, honey. That's what they get. I hope they are happy together in hell. That's what they get. Now, the Mary Lou Turner case, or whatever this woman, Mary Kay, listen, I can't say that. I don't know how to say her last name. So it's been 20 years since Mary Kay married her former student, Vili Falai. Listen, this was in 2005, and this was national news because this teacher had actually went to jail, and there was like a court order for her to leave this student alone, but she refused to leave this student alone. And when she got out of prison, she actually married this kid. And it's so crazy watching their interviews, because you can tell that he finally grew up. That last interview, you can tell that he was over her shit, and I don't think they're together anymore, or are they? I don't know. So in 1997, it was revealed that Mary Kay had raped one of her students. Is it Vili? It's Vili. I don't remember their names being that complex. Anyways, he was only 12 years old at the time. Let's talk about how the media, because I'm reading this, and the media is like, the media is almost talking about this in a positive manner. I'm not going to talk about what this is saying, but they're talking about specific moments that this rapist started raping this 12-year-old child. And they're talking about kissing scenarios. The media fixated on this case, and the media did not help with this case because the media are just as perverted as Mary Kay. This story of sexual abuse drew more than just millions who watched from the media. The former teacher was found guilty of 2 counts of second-degree rape of a child and was sentenced to 7 years in prison. Y'all know her. Fucking crazy. She was released from a Washington Correction Center for Women in August of 2004, and then she married this kid, and the couple lived together with their 2 daughters. Years later, he filed for separation, and the couple finalized their divorce in 2019. Less than a year later, Mary Kay died of cancer at 58 in July of 2020. Good riddance. I hope she's happy in hell burning. Crazy. So she's dead. She died. He divorced her. She died. I hope he is happy with his 2 daughters, and I hope that he is healing from the realities of being used and abused and held captive since 12 years old. He was never free. Even after she got out of prison, she hunted him down and married him. And of course, at the time, he thinks that that's what he needs to do, you know. So, from 12 years old till how old was he? It didn't say. I want to say he was probably in his late 30s to early 40s. So from 12 years old till he divorced her, probably late 30s, early 40s, she held him captive. What is that, like 30 fucking years? Yeah, I'm glad she died. People like that should get she should have got a one-way ticket to a firing squad. And then she wouldn't have been able to get out of prison and continue to reoffend against the same damn victim, hold him captive for years, and psychologically and sexually torture him further. He was a second grader. Listen to this sick shit. Mary Kay formed a close relationship with Billy when he was a second grader who showed remarkable artistic ability, and she delighted in cultivating. They are like, I don't know what to call this. They are like romanticizing. This is People magazine. They ought to be death by firing squad over this article. They are romanticizing this encounter like it's fucking normal, and this is child abuse. That's the whole problem that I had with this case to start with. It was because she was a pretty woman that they did not crucify her to start with. And then also she gets out of prison, breaks a court order. Does she face any kind of penalty for that? Absolutely not. There was a no contact in order with the victim, which was Billy. Listen. This is unacceptable. She even went on the Oprah Winfrey show to talk about her love for this child. He's the love of my life, she said. At what point do we consider this a mental health condition? Because these women, these teachers that are out here victimizing students, for those that don't know, there's a few arrested every week throughout this country. It's getting bad out here. It's getting real bad. And in my opinion, it's a mental health problem. Something is not right with these people at all. And it's non-reformable. We can't change that perversion. Wow. So her husband in 1997, Mary Kay's husband, when she was messing with this 12-year-old student, he was in second grade when she started teaching him. And by 12, she was assaulting him. And they were writing love letters to each other. And Mary Kay's husband found these love letters from this student and contacted authorities. What the husband didn't know is that she was already 6 months pregnant at the time with Billy's baby. Imagine being the husband and you're married to a school teacher and you find out that your 30-something-year-old wife is messing with a 12-year-old student and she's also pregnant by that 12-year-old student. I'm just telling you guys right now, I'm glad that I am a woman, because if I was a guy and never had to go through that, I would be in prison for fucking murder. I don't know if I could contain my rage, specifically for a pedophile. And knowing that my wife had done gotten knocked up by a student because she's a pervert, I don't know if I could contain my rage. In May, she gave birth to a baby girl, Audrey, 3 months after she pled guilty to 2 counts of child rape. And they idolized her. They absolutely idolized her. She's been on 60 Minutes. She's sat down with people like Barbara Walter, if I'm not mistaken. She's sat down with pretty much every TV journalist and every person that she can to talk about the situation and try to make it seem like it's normal. She was sentenced to 7.5 years, suspending all but 6 months. So that's how she was able to get out and get close to Billy again, because she didn't serve any time in prison. Oh, she did have mental health problems, bipolar disorder. But this is more than that. The perversion for children, this sick shit, it goes deeper than bipolar disorder. She was in violation of probation. She would have went to jail. She should have went to jail. Yes, that I can't. Letourneau. Yeah, Mary Kay. While finishing her 6 months behind bars, Mary Kay began taking the drug Depakote to treat her bipolar disorder, but within days of her release on January 2nd of 1998, she had stopped taking it and was rebelling against her sexual deviancy counselor. So they had her with a counselor that was a sexual deviancy counselor because she was such a pedophile. They were trying to reframe her from being a pedophile. We now know that that does not work. The only thing that works is death. They were literally found in her car having sex. She was on parole when she got pregnant with their second child. She was sent back to prison and she gave birth to her daughter, Georgia, behind bars in October of 98. They successfully petitioned to have their court order no contact order lifted, and they were married in May of 2005. Before 200 guests. The amount of sheep in this goddamn story is unbelievable. I mean, it makes me sick that society has become this fucking soft, that you know this woman was a pedophile and over 200 friends and family show up to the fucking wedding. Not one person had a problem with this 12-year-old boy being molested and raped and impregnating a 30-something-year-old woman. I mean, it's really... And then the media gets this story. They romanticize it. They give her all of this airtime. I am so glad this bitch is dead. We should have killed her back in 1990 motherfucking 7. No ands, ifs, or buts. This is why this shit is becoming normalized in this country. It's cases like this that have led to the normalization of these fucking relationships. And it's sick. It's sick. 200 guests at the Columbia Winery in Woodinville, Washington. Y'all know I could never, right? I could never. I'm bringing the police with me because I know you're going to call them any goddamn ways when I get there. So I'm going to call them when I'm walking through the double doors of the church, bitch. Because I'm coming to cause a goddamn disturbance up in this motherfucker today. On Jesus' name. I could never. That's probably why I ain't got friends. Because people, that's exactly why. That's another reason I don't fuck with people. Because people know I'm going to fucking tell it. I see some shit like this, I'm going to tell the whole goddamn world. You pedophile. Man, this shit's wild. So they romanticize this entire relationship. They go on multiple, and he looked so rough during this interview. I'll never forget this. This was the saddest interview because you can really see him emotionally done with the relationship. He was so ready to get out of that relationship. You could see for the first time that this child had grew into a man, and that man was over her shit. I'm glad that he is alive with his 2 daughters and that this bitch is dead. That's probably, psychologically speaking, that's probably the best thing to fucking happen for the entire family, because this bitch has psychologically tortured this family for decades. This is not a normal relationship. The power imbalance in this relationship, I can't even begin to break down for people. I can just tell you that this bitch controlled, manipulated, used, coerced, and hurt this man unbelievably. And the whole nation fucking watched like it was cute. People make me sick. And they doing the same shit with Bridget Macron. Like, what? A perverted, evil, wicked witch of the fucking France. She should be behind bars. This is exactly how people are conditioned to think that this behavior is normal. He is the Prime Minister of France. She groomed him as a small child. They are married front and center as the leaders of France. And this was a grooming, pedophilic, is that a word? Relationship. I'm just trying to break down how, in 20 years, when these things have gotten worse, because they will continue to get worse until Jesus comes back, because this is exactly what he talks about in Revelations, all of this, the normalization of pedophilia, it's been going on for decades. Mary Kay was one of the founding bitches of it. It's sick. It's sick. So it looks like she's dead now. Oh, in May of 2017, Villy filed for separation from her, who was still a registered sex offender, after 12 years of marriage. She was diagnosed with cancer in 2020. It metastasized, and her health deteriorated. She died on July 7th of 2020. Sounds pretty fair to me. And she was absolutely a tabloid fixture in the 90s. It's crazy. People would say, oh, how weird, but then they'd pick up an article from damn People magazine and buy it. So of course People magazine and those tabloid magazines put her front and center because they were making money. Mary Kay Letourneau, a one-time teacher who became a tabloid fixture in the late 90s after she raped, and he was 12, a 12-year-old boy They said 13. Later married him after serving a prison sentence and died in her home when she was 58 in Seattle from cancer. Yes. Mary Kay was widely condemned for her predatory behavior towards the child, but many people long held a fascination with their relationship, which continued well into Mr. Villie's childhood. She was 34 years old when she began a sexual relationship with him in 1996 at the age of 12. She should have been burnt at the goddamn stake. Do you hear me? And this is why we got more teachers out here behaving this way. They grew, them teachers in there now, them little 24-year-old teachers, them little 25, 30-year-old teachers, they looked at this and read about this case in the tabloids as children, because their mother would have been buying a copy. This case, this Mary Kay Letourneau case, I'm telling you, everybody knows about this. And this behavior has been somewhat normalized. I mean, I really just cannot believe a court agreed to lift the no contact restraining order with them too. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yo, I gotta go find the bathroom. I got a train call. The French, yeah, I know. They've kind of been notoriously openly, overtly sexual. I do believe that I read somewhere that, it's normalized for young girls to participate in sex more early than girls from some other places. It's like, I don't know. It's normalized to be overtly sexual in other places. Where else are they comfortable just being naked all the time? I can't remember. And there's like a fascination with sex. French society is generally more open and accepting of sexuality compared to some other cultures, with a growing acceptance of non-heterosexual activities and a greater emphasis on consent and sexual freedom. However, sexual violence remains a concern, particularly against women, and there are evolving attitudes towards trans identity, according to a recent study. I wonder what the prevalence of STDs are. Sorry. I mean, that's my first question. Seriously. That's my first question. Like, I knew that, they're more open, but I wonder... what the prevalence of STDs in comparison to their ways. You know what I mean? Like, I wonder how it affects. Y'all, I can't think. I've got to pee. Ugh. I can't think when I have to use the bathroom. God, there's so much trash everywhere. They just wrecked this place over the weekend. Let's go use the bathroom. Whew. I got up this morning and I went to go use it. And then I came out here to the beach. Saw me. Fuck you, dude. He saw me pulling out and he gassed it being a dick. Fuck you, dude. Mad cause you're in a little Tacoma. Put putting along in a 4-cylinder. First of all, this is a bad road to get out on. Most people are super respectful. It's probably some loser that fucking recognizes me, because a lot of the guys around here have a crush on me that I won't speak to, or very passive aggressive. It's really absurd to think that so many men behave that way when you simply have boundaries. It's called a safety net. I don't talk to strangers. That's something I learned when I was like 2. We all learn that. But the world of social media has gotten people so comfortable with thinking that it's normal to just walk up to somebody and try to damn shoot your shot. That's not normal. What a dumbass. All you can do is laugh. I literally looked both ways. He was nowhere to be seen. I go to pull out and I'm like, oh, he's slowing down. No, he wasn't. He was fucking speeding up when he saw me. Remember I told y'all, what day was that? It was right after a major holiday. What day was that? Oh, it was Easter. And some old man tried to run me over in a gas station parking lot. He saw me going to walk across the road, and then he like accelerated, and I had a piece of pizza in my hand. And I took that pizza like I was going to throw it on his windshield, and he finally stopped. He literally saw me walking across the gas station parking lot and accelerated his little Cavalier like he was going to hit me. Sorry, I'm just wondering if that loser come down here. See the beautiful water? People always have a way of resurfacing around here. Usually at the perfect time, too. I'm gonna use the bathroom. There's no toilet paper in there. It never is. You have to take your own. Ain't that sad? It's better than the alternative shitting in a bush. you're coming around that turn, you're actually supposed to slow down because of people leaving the beach. So you're supposed to be conscientious of people leaving the beach and not be a douche. Trying to figure out where the fucker went. There's only one strip of land for him to go to. I wonder where he was in a rush to get to. I'm nosy. Like I said, I don't start shit, but I'll finish it. Sometimes 2-3 months later. Maybe somebody just hasn't told him that he has no common decency. Somebody should let him know. That's all I'm saying. Lack of respect in society comes from people not being told or taught how to respect. And that's why it's getting so bad. Oh, Mr. Bird. What a shame. No shitty Tacoma. God, I wonder if your shoulder hurts from toting that gun around all day at the military base. They're walking around with it looks like an AR, but I don't know what it is. It looks like a military rifle. They gotta tote that all day. You just gotta stand at the gate with that shit on your shoulder. It can't be light. It can't be light. Y'all, that new Trump military video is so good. So good. It's about time. Make men men again. Make men men again. I love it. Every time I see some dude with his hand out and them hips swaying, I'm like, oh, honey, let me get away. This is a severely traumatized person that is ready to implement trauma on me. Let me get away. I don't know where we went so south, but masculinity has disappeared from this country. And we have got to bring it back because it is imperative to human survival. It's disturbing. I guess I'm kind of relieved that my family is not here to see this shit, because they wouldn't know how to handle it. They'd be losing their fucking minds just like I am. Worse. My blueprint came from them, you know. Thank God it did. Thank God it did. There's still hope. This is that energy pack. I found one. It's the PK First of all, this is their new hydration mix. Hold on. We're going into the park. It might get a little spotty. This is their energy mix. This is their hydration mix. Both of them, 10 out of 10. And they're half the price of Liquid IV and other energy stuff. These come from the Dollar Tree. That's the only place I can find those. Pure Kick Energy. 80 milligrams caffeine, no sugar. I wish they'd take the dye out of these. I'm hoping that JFK will take the dye out of them. And then that's for hydration, PK. Oh, it's so pretty. So pretty. Damn it. I got a dollar. I got a dollar. I got a dollar. Hey, 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 hey. Good morning. Good. You too. Sorry, I was trying to get through there so she wasn't on camera. Skirt. Hold on, honey. We're going off road. I feel like Bug from Bug's Life. I feel like a bug. All I can see is like the shades. That's it. The whole screen's black except for the shades. Let's see if we see any alligators. There's all kinds of wildlife through here. There's a beautiful river you can't see right now. Oh God, this is where the gators get you though. And I can't remember if the alligators or the crocodiles are saltwater or freshwater. I can't never remember. Oh. Hold on. Is that a birthday cake? It is. Somebody left me a birthday cake from the future. I know. Ain't it crazy? So this is the PK energy. I like these 80 milligrams and they work amazing. And then the hydration mix from PK. Hydro Pro energy mix. Both of them are great. I really like this one. It's my favorite. Damn, it's hot already. That's leftover electrolytes from last night. It's actually still cold. Somebody left a whole birthday cake. It's gorgeous. Oh my God, y'all. Fucking, it's just ridiculous. Flooding the chat. They know. Come back to troll again tomorrow. Oh shit. Oh hell no. What was that? Damn squirrel, you scared the hell out of me. You bastard. I thought you were a fucking alligator. Somebody left the whole birthday cake and beer out here. Can you believe that? Or is that Coke? Pepsi. Wanna go get eaten this morning? Oh, it's wet. Of course it is. Well, I'm about to run. I'm gonna relax some more. I got some schoolwork I need to read. That's what I've been doing this morning. Relaxing and reading. We'll catch up this afternoon when I want to work out. Oh, man. I'm glad that Trump is going to fix the military. I really am. It's one of my biggest concerns. Without our defense system, we are nothing. We are nothing without our military. People need to realize that without our military, we wouldn't be here. This country would not be what it is if it was not for our military. They have fought. They fought for this land, to obtain it, because that's the way things were from the very beginning. But also they've fought to protect us, to secure our borders now, and we need to reshift back into what made this country the greatest country on earth, and part of that was our military branches. They've been disrespected and dishonored for so long. I don't even think that the majority of people realize what they've done to our military. The way that they infiltrated it with leftist bullshit. There's no room for that in the military. That's not what it's for. If you want to go damn be gay, go be gay. But don't bring that shit to work with you. This is not bring your child to work with you day. You cannot bring your mental health problems to work with you. Okay? Okay? If you want to be if you're biologically male and want to be a girl, you can do that on your off time. Yeah, don't be bringing that mental health bullshit to work with you. It's not okay. Not okay. Weird. I love you guys, and we will talk later. I hope y'all have a great Tuesday morning and be safe out there. Bye, girlie. I'm headed out. I'm gonna go drink my coffee and try to wake up my caffeine. And I hope y'all have a good morning. Y'all be safe out there. And remember, if you're not fighting against it, then you're standing for it, and you'll still burn in hell for that. So God is very clear. Love you guys. Pray for me, because God knows I need it, and I'm praying for y'all. Bye, y'all.